So recently, my school went on a school trip to Aberystwyth, which is in Wales.
From Wales. Wales? Oh, Wales. That's the place with the castles and dragons, right? No.
Just wanted to add, believe it or not, Wales isn't full of farmers and sheep and stuff like that. There's places like Cardiff where I have friends, like Ollie. Hi Ollie, I miss you. The bus trip was pretty uneventful. We had to stop at a gas station which pretty much overpriced everything. On the way back, I and Pepe played the yellow car game, which basically you look out onto the road. If you see a yellow car, you shout yellow car and you hit the person sitting next to you. It was pretty fun. I got to punch him once and he punched me 3 times. I mean, Pepe's stench he is, and I didn't want to get disabled on the school trip, so we compromised and stopped the game before I got injured. Finally, we get to Aberystwyth. First thing I notice is a corner shop with this guy's face literally in front of it. We eventually get to our hostel rooms. We get our room sorted and then play some football with the girls from Branca. Football with females. We played one bounce, so the girls just couldn't be bothered. It was a bit annoying, but I mean, I can't play football, so where were we? Talking about the Bramcook kids, basically our school is in like a federation with them, so we go on school trips together, and they're a lot bigger than we are. My school's really tiny, so they had one coach to themselves, and we shared a coach with them. Anyways, after football with females from Branca, we go down to dinner before gathering at a recreational hall to watch England lose. It was really sad. Anyway, that should have been the end of the sad day, but I guess the Branca kids thought otherwise. Let's take the story from Tom's point of view. Tom's having a dump, scrolling through some YouTube videos, some Ali Season 5 Fortnite leaks, when all of a sudden this happens. Apparently it was the Branca kids who sprayed deodorant on the smoke detector. I guess there's only so much you can do to entertain your last 2 brain cells. Also, I got tickled to death that night by my roommates.
Many unbearable hours later.
The teachers get us on our coaches and we drive to Borth Beach. There, Mr. Baxter gives us a speech and some stuff. But my mind was somewhere else. I wonder how many jellyfish I could kill today. I only found one dead, in case you're wondering. After Borth, we go to the sand dunes, and the first thing Chris and I notice is this sign warning us of unexploded bombs.
Oh, well that's just great.
Turns out people had already encountered bombs at Innislas. Anyway, with that cheerful fact in mind, we go have lunch and I consent to getting buried in the sand. Not the best experience. We do some schoolwork and some of the guys decide to jump off a huge sand dune while Chris and I wait and watch and wonder if any of them is gonna hit a bomb and explode. I mean, imagine what a great title that will make. Guys, I just saw my friend Jonah jump off a cliff in Wales and exploded! The next destination was the beach at Aberystwyth, and we were given work to do like counting traffic and stuff like that. And we certainly didn't just make up data. After that, I walk around with the boys and get to meet some girls from Bramcook. They were nice. I mean, I've never met any of them before, so what do you say to teenagers you've met for the first time? Hi. Wow, your voice is deep. So you need to formulate a fully functional sentence that expresses your thoughts and feelings concerning said discussion while making it interesting enough to make the discussion continue. Okay. After loitering in Aberystwyth for a while, we head back to our hostels. Yep, that's right. They literally made us walk a mile back, and it didn't really help that the hill was almost vertical. We get back and I take a shower, and afterwards, while I'm just chilling with the guys. Layla and Natasha walk in. Why are you naked? That was a joke, by the way. I wasn't naked. But if I was, boy, would that have been awkward. Also weird. Why would I be naked in the kitchen? I'm not Ed. It was still awkward, though. Especially since what I was watching was questionable.
That girl was hot.
She's my cousin.
She is?
Yes, we're all cousins.
So I settle for looking at memes on Pinterest and, joining conversation every once in a while. After about an hour, the teachers decide that we all have to go to Aberystwyth because they wanted to do stuff. We get to the beach and we stay there. There isn't much to do. But then after a while, someone decides to skip a stone on the sea, and then we all join in. And James teaches me how to skip a stone. Look at him go. He's really good at it. And I learn. I did a pretty good job of skipping a stone. We walk around. We get bored and then we decide to leave. And then I, Seth, James, Daniel, Jacob, I think that's all of us. We all went back, and on the way we played
It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home.
not because it was coming home, but just to annoy the local townsfolk. We get to the hostels and I check my pockets and dairy me, my key is missing. That'll be £80, thank you. That's like 300 pieces of garlic bread. I do not like where this is going. Well, I didn't prepare for this kind of stuff to happen, and my parents wouldn't be too happy about this. But luckily, Daniel was there. Okay, I should calm down. We'll retrace your steps and we'll find your key. There's nothing to be worried about. Just calm down. Daniel was so cool and calm, while inside I was just like... So if it weren't for Daniel, I'd probably have just given up right there and then. But Daniel wasn't gonna allow me sit there and quit, so he kind of forced me outside to go look for it. We met a couple of people on the way who were mostly sorry for us, and then there were the Bronco boys who laughed. Losing my keys on a school trip, that's comedy gold right there. We also met some teachers who told us they looked around and they couldn't find anything, and that there was pretty much no chance of us finding the key on the beach. So, thanks for the encouragement. But still, the teachers allowed us to go check the beach.
Moments later.
We get to the beach and I look around and I realize that it is truly impossible for me to find my key in this. And just as I'm about to give up, I see a little blue spot in the sand. And then I go to check and... Oh look, it's just my key! And I couldn't have done it without Daniel. He even offered to contribute 20 quid. Just for a lad. Yeah, give him a round of applause, guys. Thanks, Daniel. Big thank you to you, bro. Couldn't have done it without you. And that's how I found my key. And I and Daniel head back to the hostels, and I have some pizza with the boys. And that's about it for day 2. Day 3, we get on the coaches and ride back home. The end. Came into my room and violated me. sound like people screaming. Slaves! And then I was like, oh, yes, son.